Hey friends, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Christine, and believe it or not, we are going to make a 2-ingredient, lovely, delicious chocolate cake. So come on with. Okay, I swear this is going to be so easy. It looks a little congested, a little chaotic, but right now, I swear, I am not lying. It is two ingredients. It is melted chocolate chips and eggs, and I will show you how to put it all together to make a cake. So I have some chocolate chips to use up before I dive into my Azure standard order. So if you haven't checked out that video, we just did our first order. So I'm making a smaller batch, and it's just my husband and myself, so I am just making a smaller portion. But I am taking 3/4 of a cup of chocolate chips, and this should be, oh wow, yeah, this should be just about perfect. And just add in that. And I am going to go to the microwave and melt these down until it's smooth. So while we are in the midst of getting our chocolate melted, we are going to separate our eggs. We are going to put the whites in the big bowl, and we're going to get those blended up. And I'm going to put the yolks in a separate smaller bowl. So let's see if I can do it. I'm not really good at this, but you literally just want the whites. Ooh, all right. One success. And then dump that yolk into there and do the same thing. Okay, success. Oh, there's my microwave. Okay, and we're saving these yolks. Do not get rid of them. And let me grab the chocolate. Okay, chocolate is looking good and melty. So you kind of have to work a little bit quick. So right now, I'm not doing anything with the yolks yet, but with the whites, we are going to blend them up until they're stiff. So you got to kind of move fast. Looking pretty good. I'm trying to make them as stiff as possible. So a little bit longer. Okay, that's looking good. So you see the consistency, like it's really thick. So meanwhile, we're gonna set that to the side just for a minute. Meanwhile, we still have our nice warm, melty chocolate. And here's where the yolks come in. We are putting the yolks right into the chocolate. And that's why you want to blend this up first, because you're going to use the blender again, the beater, and we're going to beat this together and mix it really well. Okay, I do not see any yellow left. So you kind of see the consistency of that. And then this is the trick. So I'm using the bigger bowl for the chocolate and the smaller one for the egg whites. And you're going to slowly, actually, before I do that, let me turn the toaster oven on to 325 before we miss out here. Bake. 325. And I'm going to set it for 20 minutes and get that preheating. So this is the important part. So here's the other spatula. I'm just going to take a little bit at a time and just gently fold it in until it's all incorporated. And then do the same thing. And that's the trick of it. So you want to make it as fluffy as possible. So you really don't want to beat it again. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to get another layer. Actually, I'm just going to flop this in. This is a little bit smaller batch than I normally make. Okay. Make sure you get all of it. And you're just being real gentle and folding it folding it in. Came across this recipe, gosh, I don't know, probably about 6 months ago or so. And I just haven't really made it. I actually made a mistake doing some eggs. I was hard boiling some eggs and I accidentally cracked the eggs too much for them to be hard boiled in my little machine. So I just thought, well, I'm gonna use these up. But who doesn't love a nice easy recipe? So I'm just gonna kind of keep going until the white disappears. But just folding and folding really nicely. And meanwhile, I had gotten a dish all greased up, ready to go into the toaster oven once we get this layered in there. And you won't even believe the consistency of this. But like I said, the trick is folding it nicely and not being too rough with it. You're seeing how long it's taking me to fold this in? That's what needs to happen. Almost like kneading dough. And we're almost done. There's almost no white left. Okay, I think it's kind of ready. Do one more flip here. Okay, let me grab my pan. So I have my, actually it's kind of dried up. I have my little tiny pan ready. I'm just gonna spray these sides again. Make sure that nothing's gonna stick. And are you ready? We're gonna pour it in. Just like any regular cake batter. Oh, there's my toaster oven, it's ready. Perfect timing. Okay, and I'm just gonna do a quick little spread to the corners. Otherwise, it's looking good. Okay, one last little prettiness on the top. I just don't want to waste any of it, so I'm just doing a quick scrape. It's just my husband and I eating it, so. Okay, all right, let's get this in the toaster oven. And we're putting it in for roughly 20 minutes, but I am gonna keep an eye on it. And just make sure that it's not overdoing it. Sometimes you need to do it a little bit longer, but we're gonna check it in about 15 minutes or so and make sure that we don't need to add on any more time. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. My timer went off. There's a couple minutes left, but let's give it a look. Ooh, it's looking really good. It's got the cracks in the top. And I think I'm just gonna let it go these last 3 minutes and call it good. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and that was 20 minutes at 325. So let's do the toothpick test and make sure. Came out clean, everything's good. So I am going to set this to the side and let it cool, and then we'll dive into it. So now this is the time too, if you did want to add any frosting or anything, you just wait until it cools. I like it just like this, so then you just keep with the 2 ingredient theme. So we're gonna let this cool. It is gonna shrink down because right now it's pretty puffed up. So, but it does kind of, as it cools, it does kind of sink some, but wait until you see when we bite into it. You're gonna be amazed. Okay, let's dig in. So I started to cut it, but then I wanted you to kind of get the gist of like what it is like as you cut it. So it's a little bit firm. So right now it's been cooling for about 15 minutes or so. And like I said, right when it comes out, it's really fluffy. And then as it cools down, then it kind of sinks a little bit. Nothing too crazy. It's still like a nice consistency. So when I cut it, it kind of almost has a crust to it. And I don't know, guys. I know the price of eggs is crazy, but if you're looking for something really quick to throw together, if you don't have a lot of ingredients in your house, if you have some chocolate chips laying around and 2 eggs, and this is a fun little, you know, miscellaneous dessert. All right, so now let's get it out. I've cut a couple of pieces, and like I said, this is a smaller portion. This is what, I don't know, 8 by 8 maybe, tiny little pan. And it just is so good. And I try to cut it like the width of my little spatula here. And I'm just gonna pop it out onto my plate. And it literally came out really nice. It's kind of a mix between a cake and a brownie. So let's give it a taste test. You know, it would be so good served with ice cream. I do not eat ice cream. I make my own banana ice cream. But anyways, I digress. Let's give it a cut. And it stays together nicely. And what could be more decadent than this? It literally is chocolate chips and eggs. So let's give it a taste. Light and fluffy and delicious. So, and again, I'm having some dessert before dinner time, but I wanted to make this up for you guys. A super simple recipe, a little bit of rigmarole to get it to what it is. But like I said, 2 ingredients. What could be more simple than that? And the biggest deal with it is folding in those egg whites after you beat them. Super stiff too. Make sure that they're not just meringue-like. Make sure that the beater marks are staying in it. That's the other trick. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. There's not much to it, but thanks for stopping by my little channel. And if you like super simple recipes like this, hit that like and subscribe, and I will see you next time on Christine's Routines. Take care and God bless. And I'm going to take one more bite while it's still warm. Oops, I didn't mean to hit that. See one of my videos. Let's start that over. It's not making any sense.